Amelia, I just want to check something. Your father's company was taken over by my son, wasn't it? Why are you asking about that out of the blue? My father is still the president of the company. Please don't say crazy things. So, does that mean you're the next president? Well, that's fine anyway. Huh? Please stop talking nonsense. Who told you that information? I visited your house yesterday to see my son. That's when I heard about it. You visited our house? Are you telling me that you went in without permission? If you're coming, you should have told me in advance. My son was home since it was his day off, so it doesn't matter. You're just being paranoid, aren't you? I was working. Don't you dare to talk back to me. I have a very serious question. Did my husband say that he was going to be the president of my father's company? No, he didn't. We found a note in your working space. I can't believe you went into my working space without permission. Did you ransack the house? Of course not. Do you think I'm some sort of thief? We're family, so it's normal to enter each other's houses without permission. Please don't do that. Even though we are family, it's an invasion of privacy. That's not important right now. What's more important is what the note said. I saw that it said the next president will come from my heir. It must be my son, Warlock, am I right? I just made a note on the phone conversation I had with my father. It's confidential outside the company. Even though you are my mother-in-law, I can't tell you any more than that. I need to know everything related to that. Warlock is one of my family members who works for the company. He's on the list of candidates for the next president, isn't he? I have to hear at least that much. As I just told you, I can't talk to you because you are an outsider. I really can't. Well, by how you say it, I can tell that Warlock will be the next company president. Isn't that right? Please stop prying. I can't tell you anything about that. There are 4 of my relatives working in the company, including you and Warlock. Then it's obvious that my son will be the next president, isn't it? Can we stop talking about this? I can't divulge any information. No, we need to continue talking. You don't have any male siblings, do you? I have 2 younger sisters for your information. It's impossible for a woman to take over the company. That means the only male heir is Warlock. Please stop speculating and saying strange things. I can't tell you anything, no matter what. From that reaction, it seems that I was right about most of the things. I'm glad to hear that. Please give me a break. If you don't have any other business, can we end our conversation here? Maybe I should ask Warlock for an overseas trip next time. I want to go to Italy again. It seems that you don't want to listen to what I say. If it happens, I might as well carry out that plan. Yeah, let's do that. What are you talking about? Don't worry about it now. See you later. My name is Amelia. I'm 35 years old and currently working for a major company owned by my father. 5 years ago, I met and married Warlock, who is the same age as me. He is unreliable and somewhat dangerous, but I thought he was cute just the way he was. I still feel the same way even now. However, I always have a hard time dealing with my mother-in-law. Today, while I was at work, she entered the house without permission, even though she had my husband's permission, and even ransacked my room. I tried to warn her, but she wouldn't listen to me. However, I later regretted that I had underestimated Fanny, my mother-in-law. I'm sorry to inform you, but I've filed for your divorce. What? Was that really necessary after all this time? Besides, your husband passed away last year. So shouldn't you have filed the marriage termination papers at that time? What are you talking about? Don't be ridiculous. I'm grateful to my husband for leaving me a lot of inheritance. There's no way I'm terminating that now. Wait a minute. Then whose divorce papers did you file? You and Warlock. It's obvious, right? Huh? Why? Since Warlock has become the president of the company, I don't need you anymore. I want you to proceed with the divorce. What on earth are you talking about? I don't know where to begin. You have a harsh personality, and to be honest, I didn't like you. But I put up with it because you're the president's daughter. I'm glad that I can finally let that go now. I knew that you didn't like me, but you're being too arrogant, you know. Shut up! All I want is my son. Even this house belongs to us, mother and son, from today. I've always dreamed of living together with my son. No way. We've just completed our move into the high-rise where you and Warlock live. I'm a fast worker, aren't I? You're so selfish. This house is in Warlock's name, right? Then it shouldn't be strange for his mother to live together. Do you have a problem with that? As you know, I live here too. What were you thinking? Moving out without consulting me? I mean, you're already divorced from Warlock, so it's time for you to move out. I don't think having a discussion in advance with you is necessary. Fanny, please listen. Have you heard about the crime of forging documents? What is that? Do you mean it's a crime to write something without permission? That's right. It's against the law to make a divorce decree without the permission of the persons concerned. If you contact the authorities immediately, it is possible to revoke it. But I went there together with Warlock, so I have his permission. Seriously? He's been thinking about divorcing you for a long time. I wonder why you didn't notice. Gosh, that's unbelievable. Knowing how Warlock feels, are you still going to keep saying that you don't want to divorce him? You're pathetic. I don't know what to do. You have no choice anyway. Warlock and you are strangers now. I've sent your stuff to your parents' house, so don't worry. I can't believe you did this while I was working. This is just too much to bear. I don't like your personality, but in case you don't know, I'm grateful to you, okay? Thanks for being a stepping stone for my son to become the company's president. I'm sincerely indebted to you. Anyway, I'll discuss this with Warlock once. There's a lot of confusion here. You can talk it over, but don't come back to the high-rise, okay? I won't forgive you if you do something annoying like that. I'm off work tomorrow, so I'll call Warlock over to the cafe and we'll talk. Oh well, why don't you do whatever you want? See ya! It's been a week since your divorce. I know you're not over it. I just want you to stop obsessing over Warlock. Don't worry. I'm already over it. We talked about it, and I didn't go to the authorities to cancel the divorce. You're lying. Every day, Warlock says that he's going to see you. It's true that he comes to my parents' house every day. I knew it. You're going around calling your ex-husband and trying to get him to cancel the divorce. Can you explain the current situation to me? I think you misunderstood. Your son is begging me not to divorce him. I don't think so. Warlock wanted a divorce. I don't see a single reason why he's going to your parents' house. Stop taking advantage of my son for your own good. You know what? Stop running off on your own without knowing what's going on. How rude! Warlock said that he wants to divorce you. Also, it's a fact that he's going to be the company's president. I know everything. I wonder why you said that. As a matter of fact, Warlock won't be the president of our company. That can't be true. I saw the note you left with my own eyes. Instead of taking over the company, he's unemployed now. What are you talking about? That's impossible. Think about it carefully. In the days before the divorce, you entered our house several times without permission. Each time you came to our house, Warlock was there, wasn't he? Don't you think it's strange? Which part of that was strange? My son just happened to take a day off from work when I visited him. Our company is closed on Saturdays, Sundays, national holidays, New Year's, and summer holidays. We are on business during weekdays, and yet Warlock was home. What? I don't understand. Moreover, don't you think it's strange that he hasn't been going to work every day these days? I think he was just using his paid leaves. I mean, he's the company's president, so he doesn't have to come to the office, right? You're wrong. Even if he were the company's president, it's impossible for him to take day off so often on weekdays, even if he uses his paid leaves. Wait a minute. I'm getting more confused. Let me explain it to you step by step. Please listen carefully. First of all, Warlock was fired from our company 6 months ago. What? Why? He was a habitual slacker. He skipped work whenever he found time and didn't do a very good job at all. Our company can't keep a lazy person as an employee. Anyone would take a little time off to relax. Are you telling me that the company doesn't allow the employees to take a break? In Warlock's case, it went too far. It wasn't even in the category of taking a break. He said that he went to visit a client, but he ended up gambling at a casino. Because of that, he once forgot to visit an important client. No way! There's no way my son would do such a thing! I know he was unreliable and not serious about his work to begin with. I used to go together with him when I was in the same sales department. Really? But 6 months ago, I had to leave the sales department. That's when his slacking off habit worsened. Then that means you're the cause too, right? Of course not. Warlock is already 35 years old. I think it's normal for him to do his job on his own. No! I don't think you should leave him by himself, knowing that he can't do his job without help. You were his wife, weren't you? I've been appointed as an executive director, so there's no way I can follow up on the work of the sales department. What did you say? I was appointed as an executive director. Before that, I was the head of the sales department. My father nominated me for the position, so I was promoted. You didn't hear about this? No, I didn't. By any chance, are you the company's next president? I've told you many times, but I couldn't go into details because it's a company secret. But an executive director is a pretty important position. Don't you think so? I can't tell you anything about it. I'll leave that to your imagination. Then why didn't you tell me about that at an early stage? I didn't think it was a good idea to tell you that your son is unemployed if he didn't tell you. Then at least tell him that you've become the executive director. I'm your mother-in-law. I thought you hate me. That's why I didn't tell you, because I knew that you wouldn't be interested in me. I can't believe this is really happening. Warlock is unemployed and you're one of the board members? I'm speechless. I've warned Warlock many times not to slack off. I've also given him proper guidance and training. But there was no room for improvement with him. So we had no choice but to have him quit the company. Please understand. But why did he accept my offer of divorcing you when he was in such a state? It turns out that what he wanted was the high-rise where we lived, and his father's inheritance. My husband's inheritance? He thought that he was going to have the high-rise as part of his share of the property, and if he lives there with you, he'll also benefit from his father's inheritance. With those, he was thinking that he'll have no trouble making ends meet after the divorce. So that's why he accepted my proposal so easily, even though he was unemployed? How foolish of him. However, after discussing the matter with me, various miscalculations and misunderstandings came to light. Then, he told me that he doesn't want a divorce. I didn't know that. What did you tell Warlock when you asked him to divorce me? I just told him that he should leave you because of your harsh personality. Why did you ask that? Did you talk to him about who's gonna be the next president? Warlock agreed to the divorce before I could even talk about that. That's why I told him about your misunderstanding. That's when he realized that he was relying on me financially since he was unemployed and finally started to get impatient. But was that enough to make him impatient? We still have a house, so it's not like that he's suddenly going to be in trouble. That's strange. You must have some kind of a plan, don't you? As for the high-rise, I bought it in one lump sum before I got married. Unfortunately, Warlock can't live in it because it's not subject to property division. Didn't you buy that after you got married? I thought the two of you went to a real estate agent to look for a new house while you were engaged. We did think about a new house, but my house is quite spacious, and we decided it would be a shame to let it go. So you and my son continued to live there? That's right. And then, when Warlock finally understood that if we're divorced, he would be homeless and jobless, he thought that it would be a bad idea to move on with the divorce under the current circumstances. So he is now begging me to cancel the divorce. After all, he's going to be kicked out of the high-rise. I can't believe I misunderstood everything. Oh my God. Sorry to hear that. I apologize for being selfish. Please don't divorce Warlock. It's too late, Fanny. You and your son are really just like each other. I can't believe I can't even live in that high-rise, and my son is jobless. Thank you so much for supporting Warlock until this day. I really hope that you'll continue to do the same. Don't make me laugh. Even though you've apologized to me, things won't change. You knew Warlock's personality before you married him. You wanted to support him, right? I thought he was cute at first because he was unreliable and a bit of a mess. I'm the eldest daughter, so I have a caring personality. Then you should continue to love him. And me too. Why do you expect me to take care of you and Warlock after what you've done to me? That's impossible, of course. I've sold my house since I thought I was going to live in the high-rise. What am I supposed to do now? You got a lot of inheritance from your husband, right? Besides, you're a pensioner, so why don't you do your best to make ends meet? I can't do that. That's why I moved out. You should have guessed. Are you kidding me? Did you spend all of your husband's inheritance? Well, something like that. Well, you said before that you wanted to go back to Italy again, but looks like you've been traveling overseas so much that you've run out of money. I was just so happy because I suddenly got a lot of money. I went on a cross-country tour of Europe and also a gourmet tour of Korea. Before I knew it, my balance turned to zero. So please, don't give up on me. Give me a break. On top of that, I even got a bill for the property tax on my house. I thought it was impossible to live on my pension alone. That's when I found out that Warlock might take over your father's company. Strictly speaking, that was your own mistake. Isn't that what you deserved? Don't say that! It was a ray of light for me. That's why I was going to make him divorce you and keep his earnings to myself. I never thought this would happen. If you had consulted me in the first place, I would have helped you a lot. Looks like you never listened to anyone. Then help me now. I don't want to do that. I'm not sure I'm ready to forgive you after what you've done to me. So, you don't even love my son anymore? My feelings have completely cooled off after this incident. I wonder if someone's feelings can change that easily. Warlock said he felt inferior and desperate because his wife had got a promotion and he was unemployed. But that doesn't mean I can go back with someone who can decide on divorce so easily. But you said you have a caring nature, didn't you? Why don't you take care of me and my son as your hobby? It will be fun. Please don't say anything without thinking in advance. It's not the same as taking care of someone you love. Oh no! Then what should I do? Please think about that on your own. As for the high-rise, we are preparing to sell it, so please leave as soon as possible. Please take care of your own son from now on. Don't abandon us! Help us! You are our only hope, Amelia! After that, I also proceeded with the sale of the high-rise and got rid of my mother-in-law and ex-husband. The last time I saw my mother-in-law and ex-husband, they were crying like babies. How embarrassing. My ex-husband was coming to my parents' house every day, so I warned him that if he came again, I would report him to the police. As a result, he got scared and stopped doing that. And then time passed. I was nominated by my father to be the next president of the company. And now, I'm working hard every day so that I can manage the company properly. My days are so busy that I have a newfound respect for my father. I have not been in contact with my mother-in-law and my ex-husband since then. Rumor has it that my ex-husband has not been able to find a new job. He kept changing his job since he's not capable to work at the same place for a long term. The property division that I gave him as a last mercy seems to have been used up immediately. Now they are living in poverty with only my mother-in-law's small pension. I tried to do everything I could, but it can't be helped. I feel bad about the way we parted, but from now on, I will forget about those two and try to do my best for the company and my own happiness. Are you working hard for me today, as always? Please keep working as hard as you can for me. What is it with you? You should be working too, you know. Well, I'm doing the best I can. I'm just frustrated that I can't find a good job. This is no time to be discouraged. If you don't have time for that, then at least do something like get some information, talk to your friends, improve your skills, and so on. By the way, you said you're going to stay up all night sometime, right? When was that all-nighter again? It's today. I told you in the morning and you forgot? Oh, okay. What? Why are you asking? I've been thinking about something. What? What are you thinking about? I can't tell you that yet. I want it to be a surprise. I have a bad feeling about this. Why? Because your surprises have never been good. Don't be ridiculous. When you gave me flowers for my birthday, they were more than half dead. When you bought me a Christmas cake, the cake was all messed up in a box. When you told me you made a reservation for dinner, I went to the restaurant, only to find that it was closed. All these surprises came from you, right? Everything was prepared by my mom. It wasn't something I did on my own. That's the problem.
Huh?
All your surprises involved your mother.
Not everything.
Oh, that's right. Your last surprise was, I've been laid off from work, wasn't it?
You don't have to mention that.
I didn't mean to bring it up, but when you say surprise, I don't have a good feeling about it. To be honest, I'm still worried and nervous. You don't have to keep it secret, so I want you to tell me now. It would be less of a shock.
Why are you like that? Don't you believe me?
I want to believe you, but as for the surprise, I don't believe you.
You're a terrible wife. A husband who can't be trusted is as pathetic as it gets.
So, what's the surprise?
You know, I'm actually thinking of inviting my parents to come live with us in this house.
What? Without consulting me?
You work all night sometimes, so it would be great to have my mom here, don't you think? My mom has been a housewife longer than you. I'm sure she'll be a great help to us.
What are you talking about? I'm doing just fine on my own.
Besides, my parents love our house. If they want to move in with us, how could I say no? I'm the eldest son, and they want to take care of me.
I understand their feelings, but how could you decide such thing without even telling me about it? I live in this house with you. Don't you think you should have asked me first?
I'm the eldest son. I wanted to do it sooner or later.
Then why didn't you say so earlier? I've never heard you talk about it. I'm so dumbfounded. Don't just decide something like that on your own. Anyway, let's discuss it between the two of us.
What? We don't have time for that.
Why?
Because my parents are coming tomorrow.
Huh? What's that?
It looks like they've already sent out the luggage. Even if the luggage will take a little longer, my parents will arrive the same day if they drive fast enough. It's been a while since you lived with your parents, right? It must feel fresh, like you're a kid again, just a little bit.
No, I don't understand. I wanted to marry you and live with you. I don't want to live with your parents. I'm not looking for being a kid again or anything. Don't just decide everything based on your imagination. I have no idea what you're thinking. I can't have your parents to come and live with us.
Why do you reject my parents so much?
I'm not rejecting them. I'm saying it's impossible for us to live together.
You're my wife, right? Are you saying you can't follow what I decide? Besides, this is my house, so I can make my own decisions.
Wait a minute. I bought that house, remember? I'm working all night like I'm going to today, desperately trying to make the payments. I'm paying not only for the house, but all the living expenses, right? Don't think you own the house all by yourself.
Huh? My house is my house. I'm your husband, so of course it's my house. It's easy for you to work so hard on your own. Anyway, my parents are coming to live with us tomorrow.
Our finances are just enough for both of us. How are you going to make ends meet? The cost of living for 4 adults is going to be much higher, you know. How are we going to pay for that?
My parents said they'd pay a little bit of living expenses, so we'll manage, won't we?
How much is a little? Do you really think a little will cover the needs of 4 adults?
I don't know. I'm leaving it up to you to take care of the finances, but my parents are offering to pay for some. So we should take it, don't you think?
Do your parents know that you're unemployed? Are they really going to move in with us knowing that you're not working?
No, I don't think they know. I didn't tell them anything.
Why didn't you tell them the most important thing? Since I bought the house, you haven't even worked for long. And when you do work, it doesn't last. It's been a year since you quit your last job. Shouldn't you be looking for a job first? You'll have to wait until your job is secure and you're earning money before you think about having your parents moving in. Don't you think those are the right steps to do?
Why are you always bringing that up? What do you mean always? Isn't that the most important thing to make a living? I will work, and you don't have to keep telling me. I'm even job hunting right now. I just haven't found a famous company that I want to work for. When I get a new job at a famous company, I can make your life easier. So for now, I want you to work hard even if you have to stay up all night. I'm tired of hearing you say that. Soon I'll get an offer from a famous company. Soon I'll be earning a lot of money. How many times have I heard those words? But I don't see you getting another job anytime soon. I don't like staying up all night either. I work at night because I can make more money. You don't understand anything. I'm telling you, I'll find a job soon. I'm going to get a job at a famous company, and my parents are going to live with us, and your life will be easier too. How can you say that when you're living out of my income? Huh? You've been talking so much for a while. You're the one who takes care of all the finances, right? Isn't it your job to make ends meet with the money you have? Don't complain all the time. Huh? You disgust me. I'm doing it because you can't take care of money. And yet you quit your job like that and staying home doing nothing at all. And on top of that, you let your parents to move in and live with us without consulting me. That's enough. I'm not a handyman. No one said anything about that. It's natural for a wife to help her husband when he's in trouble, isn't it? There are many wives who manage the household finances. There are plenty of wives who live with their in-laws. So why is it that I'm the only one who gets treated so badly? I'm the one who stays at home and protects the house all the time. Isn't that enough? Protecting the house? You don't even work. You just sit around at home all day. You buy whatever you want with the money I earn, and you don't do any work. How can you say that? In addition to taking care of you, you want me to take care of your parents? To be honest, I can't do it. How can you say such a terrible thing? They're my parents. They are your family too, you know. Don't you want to take care of them as they get older? Of course, if you could work and we live a normal life, I would have thought about that. But you didn't, did you? Your parents would be shocked to know that you don't work and live off your wife's income. Anyway, you should get a job before you call your parents. Maybe you should think about inviting them over after you get a job. I feel bad for your parents. But it's already decided. My parents are coming over tomorrow. Let's just accept the reality and think about living happily. You really don't want to reconsider, do you? I told you my parents will be here tomorrow. Can't you understand that? I thought you'd be happy to hear about it. I can't believe you. You decided inviting your parents to come and live with us all by yourself. It can't be a surprise for me. Well, no matter what you say, we're going to start living with my parents. I hope you can make it work. Since then, I've been thinking about the idea of living with your parents. You're finally ready to do it? I knew it. I knew you would come through. No, I think it's impossible. I want you to tell them to go back to their house. It's not too late, is it? Are you serious? My parents are so happy. I can't disappoint them. No, I think they'd be more disappointed to know you're unemployed. That's not true. They're looking forward to live with me. They like my house more than anything. I'm sure they'll enjoy it in their own way. No, absolutely not. Why are you being so stubborn about this? My parents are willing to pay for some living expenses. Our life is definitely going to be better than now. Huh? A married man who gets his parents to pay for his living expenses? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? I'm not ashamed. They're my parents. What's wrong with getting an allowance from your parents? You haven't worked in over a year and you're being lazy, even though I've worked hard all night long. You should be ashamed to ask your parents for living expenses. You're really not letting this go, aren't you? You're my wife, so be a grown-up and do as I say. That's the duty of a wife.
How can I fulfill such an unreasonable duty?
Huh?
I will no longer be your wife.
What are you saying?
It means I don't want to live with you any longer, so I will not live with your parents either. I'm divorcing you.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Of course. I've been thinking about it ever since I got your text earlier today. I haven't been able to get any work done because of it.
Don't even joke about it.
I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I don't want to have to work so hard to take care of you and your parents.
Hey, my parents are coming tomorrow. What are you thinking to divorce me at a time like this? Don't be selfish.
You're the one who's being selfish. You called your parents without consulting me. You're trying to get an allowance from them without even working. I'm going to have to work even harder than I already am. You've got to be kidding me.
Wait a minute. I'm not getting a divorce. We could have a nice life together as a family.
And I'm saying we're not. I can see I'll be up all night and not be able to come home. But if you still want to live with them, leave that house and enjoy living with your parents.
Why? I told you my parents like this house. It doesn't make sense for me to leave here and live with them.
I know something.
Know what?
That your parents are addicted to gambling. That they are living in debt. That debt keeps growing and they couldn't afford the rent. So they want to move in with us to save money on rent and living expenses, right?
Why? How do you know that?
You people must be out of your mind. The house is in my name and I bought it. I won't let you and your parents have it. I'm divorcing you, so get out of the house.
Don't be so cold. Are you abandoning me knowing that I'm out of a job?
Exactly. You keep saying that, but do you know how long you've been out of work? It's been a year.
That's because I'm trying to get a job at a famous company.
You keep saying that, but when you saw me working so hard, even pulling all-nighters, didn't you feel anything? If you really care about me, shouldn't you start any kind of job right away and make money? But instead, you just lie around at home day after day and don't do a single chore.
I'm sorry about that.
How much more do I have to keep working like this? And I also know that when you ran out of money, you secretly withdrew money from my account.
What? You knew about this?
Of course I knew. You're home every day, and what were you spending it on?
Well, my parents asked me to lend them money and I just...
What? You were giving your parents money I earned? I'm shocked.
I can't just stand by and watch my parents in trouble, can I?
Why don't you work? I can understand if you were to give them money you earned yourself, but you were secretly withdrawing money from my account. That's theft.
How could that be? You and I are married, so how can it be theft?
Whatever the reason, I'll make sure I get that money back. I worked so hard to save that money.
We're a married couple, so there's no need to ask to pay back. We share the same account.
I told you, I'm not living with you anymore. I'm single from today.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Actually, after the daytime text, I went to the city hall and filed divorce papers.
Huh? You can't just submit the divorce papers on your own without me filling it out.
You did fill them out.
Huh?
Have you even forgotten about it? When you quit your previous job, you said you needed something to pressure yourself, and you filled out the divorce papers.
What? Did I?
You've already quit your job so many times, and I put conditions on you, didn't I? If you don't get a job within a year, I'll divorce you.
What?
You filled out the divorce papers instead of the vows, remember? I kept it with me the whole time. Even if you hadn't called your parents, I would have divorced you. Because you never showed any sign of trying to get a job. And I don't want to live with a man who doesn't keep his word even after filling out divorce papers.
Oh no. So I will now charge you exactly what you spent my savings for. The security camera at the bank ATM clearly shows you withdrawing money. I'll use that as evidence.
Are you serious? I can't believe it.
You quit your job and goofed around for a year. And even more, you allowed your parents to move into the house I bought without telling me. I want you out of that house by the end of my night shift.
Wait a minute. Don't be unreasonable. My parents are coming tomorrow. There's no way I can leave.
I don't care about that. You and I are strangers now, and there's no reason for me to help you out. And moreover, there's no need to help my ex-husband's parents.
That's too much, isn't it? Why do I have to leave?
Because it's my house. Since we're divorced, you're the one who has to leave.
You're really a terrible person. What about my parents who are coming tomorrow looking forward to living in this house?
I told you I don't care. We're divorced, so I'm a stranger to you and your parents. Why should I have anything to do with them?
That's too much. You divorced me without consulting me.
You decided to bring your parents without asking me. You said it was a surprise or something incomprehensible. You were going to put it all on me, weren't you? And you withdrew money from my account.
I thought it was okay because we're a couple.
That's just an excuse. The point is, you wanted to make your life easier, didn't you? You wanted me to work hard for you.
No, I didn't. That's not true. I wanted to live with you.
You say that so often. If you had valued our life together, you wouldn't have quit your job on your own. You wouldn't have called your parents without even asking me first. That's just a lame excuse.
Why do you say that? So you don't want them to be here? Then I'll send them away.
What? Then they don't have a place to live either. Where would you send them away to? You're a much worse person than they are.
Please, Mary, just help me. Let me live in this house.
I don't want to. We're already divorced, so if you stay in the house any longer, I'll sue you for trespassing.
Oh no.
You're going to be busy.
What?
You have your parents to take care of, don't you? They're looking forward to living with you. You have to take good care of them.
I can't do it alone.
You need to find a place to live. You need to start working quickly. I don't think you have time to be talking about famous companies.
Oh no. I'm going to join a famous company and make plenty of money, so I won't compromise.
Is this really the time to be saying that? You need a lot of money to rent an apartment or a condo. I think you need to start working on it right away. You've had plenty of rest for that. Get your stuff together fast. Leave that house by the time I get back from the night shift.
I can't do that all of a sudden.
You told me that your parents are coming tomorrow all of a sudden too. Isn't it the same thing?
Yeah, but they're gone, aren't they? At least give me a week.
Don't be silly. You know how long I've been waiting? But you didn't care about my feelings. I've run out of patience.
I'm sorry, Mary. I'm sorry. Please, forgive me. I'll get a job right away, and I'll work diligently. Can't you consider living with me again?
I've told you, I've run out of patience. If you have time for excuses, why don't you start packing your bags? If you haven't left by the time I get back, you're trespassing.
Please, I'm begging you, Mary.
After that, my ex-husband was kicked out of the house and joined his parents. When I told them the reason, they said, "What do you mean? That's not what you told us." And they blamed David. They had nowhere else to go, so they had no choice but to return to his father's parents' home. But because of the reason, they were not welcomed by anyone. One of the relatives took pity on them and lent them a barn. Now they are living together in a barn with no bathroom, and each of them is working part-time jobs to save money. If David is working part-time, he must not have been able to find a job at a famous company after all. Presumably because he had to move from one job to another and had 1 year of doing nothing. I think that his reputation is bad because he had to move from one job to another and had been unemployed for a year. Even if I were an employer, I would never hire someone like him. I am enjoying a comfortable single life in my own house. Now that I make enough money to live on, I have a lot more time on my hands. I am thinking of taking up some lessons.
Hello, Sally. Why do you still refuse to listen to me? I heard that you're going on a business trip again today. You've been married for 13 years, and you're still stubborn that you don't want to dedicate yourself to do the house chores more often. It seems you've never learned how to be a good wife. Oh, not again. Can you please stop texting me just to let me know about how bad I am as a wife every lunch break at work? It's supposed to be my break time, but I can't take a proper rest because I end up having to deal with you, Helena. Especially on a busy day like today when I'm on a business trip. We live together so we can talk to each other after I get home. I really don't want to be bothered since I'm busy with my work this afternoon. That's why I'm telling you to get off your ass and quit your job. It's not like you're making much money anyway. Even if you quit, your workplace will still be running without a hitch. It's so disrespectful of you to say you're busy. Besides, you have something more important to be done. I think the reason you're not pregnant very often is because you're working. You are already in your 30s and you're not getting any younger. You need to have a baby soon. That's why I want you to stop working. I understand what you're saying, but if I stop working, we won't be able to make a decent living. I don't think it's the right time for me to have a baby, and it isn't easy to just quit my job. I will not have a child until I have enough money saved up. You really are a stubborn woman. Are you telling me that you can't live on my son's earnings alone? That's right. We've talked about this over and over again, didn't we? It's unbelievable. Oh my God. I really don't know why an impudent woman like you came to marry my son. As for me, I was so upset at how modest the amount of the salary was when my husband showed me his payslip. It's really annoying for me to talk about the same thing every day during my lunch break. Huh? My lunch break will finish soon, so please excuse me.
Hey, Sally, it seems that you said something terrible to my mother.
Something terrible?
Like how you don't want to deal with my mom, so you don't call her to text you during your lunch break at work. I heard that you sneered at her for defending me. You said that it's stressful for you to deal with her and so on. She was sad and hurt. She's your mother too, even though both of you are not blood related. You should take a better care of her and respect her more.
Give me a break. I guess that's what everyone will say in this case.
What do you mean?
Your mom is blaming me for everything, and she's talking bad about me in a way that suits her. I said those things to your mom for a good reason, and I wasn't treating her badly. I'm the one who's upset because of what your mom told me.
What? How dare you said that to my mom? She isn't guilty.
Okay, I got it. That's enough. I've been coping with this for about 13 years.
I don't understand what you're trying to tell me.
Never mind about that. I'm at a hotel on a business trip, and I'm just reconfirming the documents I need to submit tomorrow. I need to end this conversation.
Hey, I haven't finished talking with you yet.
Sally, I heard you're on a business trip again today. Yes, I am. You'll be back the day after tomorrow, right? Yes, I will. Is there any possibility of a change of plans? For example, you wouldn't come back a day early or something like that. I can't say. It depends on the situation. Is there a problem with that? Nothing, just checking. I see. Okay, then. Ethan, what does this mean?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I just came back from a business trip, and when I arrived at our house, it seems that all of the furniture and dishes are gone, leaving only my stuff in the house. And there are divorce papers on the living room floor. Could you tell me why?
It's exactly just like what you saw. I'm divorcing you. After talking it over with Mom, we decided to start living separately with you, so we moved out.
Why did you do this today? Did you plan this with your mom? You know that today is our 13th wedding anniversary, don't you? I came home as early as I could to prepare the feast for our anniversary tonight.
Really? Too bad then. I'm sorry for you that you ended up getting divorced on your wedding anniversary.
I know that's not an answer, but I don't care anymore. So are you saying that your mom agrees with the separation and divorce?
That's what I meant.
Understood. But you'll still have to fulfill the necessary responsibilities that come with a divorce.
Responsibilities? Oh, you mean the divorce papers? I don't know why you're in such a hurry, but I've filled my part in the divorce papers. All you have to do is to fill your part and file them. That's it. I'm fulfilling my last responsibility as your husband by doing that. Before you all get dressed up and accuse someone, you might want to check it out. Maybe you were so shocked by the divorce that you couldn't see what was going on in front of you. I guess you're too excited to come home on our anniversary day, weren't you?
Let me ask you something.
What?
What are you going to do with your living expenses from now on?
Excuse me?
Your mom doesn't work, right? You're going to support her with your earnings. What do you think about that? Did you think carefully about that before you decided to divorce me?
Of course. Mom and I have my father's inheritance, so it doesn't matter at all, even if you're not here.
I see. Are you sure you want to file for divorce?
Yes, I'm sure. Just file those papers as soon as possible.
I'll think about it. Sally, as expected, you're home already, right? Ethan and I have nothing to deal with you anymore. The two of you will be divorced. Looks like now is your turn. What do you mean? I got a message from Ethan telling me about the divorce and moving out. I've heard most of what he said, so I'm done. Oh, I didn't know about that. Then there's only one thing I can say. I want to have a grandchild as soon as possible. I think the best thing for me to do is to ask you to step aside and take a new bride in. A new bride? Didn't Ethan tell you about that? Molly is pregnant with his child, and he wants to be married before the baby is born. No, I haven't heard about that at all. Who is Molly? She's a fine woman compared to you, who never fulfills your duties as a wife. I'm sure she'll make a wonderful wife. Since you are so unreliable as a wife, I have already told Ethan to go out with a better woman. So she's the one Ethan was having an affair with. By the way, I'd like to ask you something. Go on. What are you going to do with your living expenses? Huh? If Ethan divorces me, it means you also can no longer rely on my earnings. I don't know if Molly, whose name you just mentioned, is working. She's pregnant, so I made her leave her job. With that, she can have more time with her family. Okay then, so the three of you will be living on Ethan's earnings alone. Yes, that's right. Are you sure you can handle it? You're so rude. Of course we will be fine. After all, Ethan's monthly income is twice of yours. I can live on that without any problems at all. I beg your pardon? Twice of my income? Ethan doesn't make that much money. You're kidding me! The paycheck you showed me before was about $3,000, right? I heard that Ethan earns twice of that, so that would mean he earns $6,000 a month. That's the opposite. The opposite? I'm the one who earns twice. Seriously? I thought you won't believe me, so I decided to show you the payslip, but I didn't realize you had such a big misunderstanding about that. What do you mean? So are you saying that you earn $6,000 per month? That's a lie, because your statement was definitely $3,000 take-home pay. I saw it with my own eyes. You're wrong. Let me put it in simple terms. You are correct that my take-home pay is $3,000 per month, but Ethan earns about half of that. That means $1,500 a month. Stop telling me lies! You didn't even notice about that, even though we're living under the same roof? Your son has changed his job multiple times. In 13 years since we got married, he has changed his job for 7 times. 7 times? I didn't notice that at all. The longest he's lasted is a little over 3 years. He usually leaves after 1 or 2 years. After changing jobs, he needs to start from scratch again. There's no way he's going to get a raise by doing that. That's why you and him were living on my salary. Why didn't you tell me earlier about that? Ethan said he would tell you himself, so I kept out of the matter. I didn't expect him lying to you, trying to look good. Wait a minute! If that's true, how could Ethan divorce you, the breadwinner? No matter how much Molly is important to him, I don't think he would do that. According to his message earlier, he said that both of you will be fine with the inheritance left by his dad. No kidding! There's no such thing from the beginning! I'm sure that's true. Your husband was a man of lavish spending. Anyway, why don't you and your son talk about it face to face once? Apparently, you and Ethan overestimate and depend on each other too much that you are catastrophically lacking in the crucial discussion.
Hey Sally, I'll give you a chance.
What? Did you have a discussion with your mom?
Yes, I did. I'm going to tell you the result now. Listen to me carefully.
No, I don't want to.
I'll tell you that the only way you don't have to get a divorce from me is to give everything you earn to me and Mom. In other words, Mom and I will be in charge of the household finances from now on. I'll give you $100 as a monthly allowance and you'll deal with that. If you agree to these terms, we won't get divorced, and I'll tell you where we're moving.
I see.
If you want to be a family with me in the future, you're going to have to put up with me treating you like an ATM. The truth is, I want to divorce you, but my kind-hearted mother said that she wants to save you. Accept it gratefully, respect us from now on, and work hard and diligently as a wife.
I can't, because I'm going to live in the United Kingdom.
No way! United Kingdom?
A while ago, the company approached me about an overseas assignment, or at least hinted at it, and I was wondering about that. But you and your mom said that you were moving out and you want to divorce me. That's what made me decide to take the plunge. I guess I should thank you guys for giving me the push. I need to improve my career, right?
Huh?
So, I'm getting a divorce and I'm accepting the offer of an overseas assignment.
What?
They asked me if I was willing to take a permanent assignment and live there, so I said yes to them today. I'll come back to the US only for vacation or stuff like that.
No way! The divorce papers are already filed.
Yeah, I filed those this morning before work to sort things out. You told me to file them as soon as possible, so I did. I did as you wanted and got them out right away. Is there a problem?
There's nothing but problems. I've been told that I won't get my father's inheritance, which I was counting on. How am I supposed to make a living since my mom doesn't work?
Well, you better think about that by yourself and solve it. Anyway, I'm going to charge you alimony for your infidelity.
Alimony? Why?
I'm sorry. I know you thought you were hiding it from me, but I was fully aware of it and have been gathering evidence since a while ago. And your mom talked about Molly, the woman you're having an affair with, on WhatsApp yesterday. I pretended not to know and asked her. She was bragging about it.
What?
I was laughing so hard, thinking that you and your mom should work together a little better. I've already asked my lawyer to take care of everything else. We're strangers now.
Sally, wait!
Hey, Sally, we got a content-certified mail. How do you know where we're moving to? That house is an empty house managed by your husband's brother, right? Huh? He complained to me that Ethan and you are living there without permission. What? The divorce has already been finalized, so I'm not related to you and Ethan anymore. But your husband's brother was very angry, so I told him about what had happened. He agreed to cooperate with me until the matter is settled. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the content-certified mail you received. Let me put it simply. I'm going to demand compensation for infidelity, so Ethan needs to pay me in one lump sum. That's what it says. Alimony? Why does my son have to pay alimony? Ethan cheated on me, and I have the right to demand it. By the way, Molly has already paid it. What? Ethan told her that he has his father's inheritance that never existed. In fact, she lied about the pregnancy, said she'd leave him if he didn't give her money, and went back to the countryside. She's a fast runner, isn't she? Her pregnancy was a lie? Then what about my grandchildren? You won't see any of them anywhere at the moment. What?
By the way, Sally, you can get back together with Ethan. I don't want to. I'm going to the United Kingdom. United Kingdom? Ethan should know about this, but it seems that we're not exchanging enough information again. Or are you so overconfident in your son that you don't want to embarrass him whom you trust? How dare you talk to me that way? Just ask Ethan about the details, okay? Hold on a second, Sally. Goodbye. So that's how it is. Now, I'm moving to the head office to prepare for an overseas assignment, and I'm planning to go to the United Kingdom in 6 months. When I told my parents who live in the countryside, they said that they'll sell the family house and go there with me. My company has arranged the company housing for us, and we are currently living there temporarily with my parents. The other day, my ex-husband and ex-mother-in-law, after paying alimony, stormed into my parents' house, which had already been sold. It seems that they came to ask me to pay back the alimony because they could no longer live on their debts. They destroyed the yard, broke a window, and broke in, and the police were called. As a result, the current owner, a real estate agent, charged them with a lot of money and ended up increasing the amount they need to pay. They are now both insulated from all relatives and continue to work day and night just to pay off their debts. Heather, is this a good time for you? I have something important to tell you. Please listen to me carefully.
What's wrong, honey?
I know it's not really something I should be saying on a message like this, but
Just tell me now, okay? I need to know.
I'm sorry, but I want a divorce.
What? Why?
Actually, I'm going to be working for a subsidiary company for the rest of the year. I don't think I can go back there.
Oh, I see.
I was supposed to be able to come back at the end of the year, but due to some personal issues, it's been decided that I'm going to stay here until retirement.
I see. But why does that mean we're getting a divorce?
Because you're a full-time employee with an important position. Also, Mary just got a job at the company she wanted to work for, and Jerry doesn't want to quit from the high school he worked so hard to get into, right? I can't ask all of you to come here since you all have your own futures there. I think it's best for everyone's happiness to stay where they are. That's why the best solution is for us to get divorced, so that we can stop worrying about each other.
I guess you're right. Mary and Jerry are both grown up now. I'm sure they'll be fine without their father.
Of course, if you have any problems, I'm always here for you.
Okay, let's have a divorce.
Thanks for your understanding. I'm glad that we managed to get an amicable divorce. You're such a good wife, Heather, and I'm proud to be your husband. Thanks to you that I can focus on my work with peace of mind.
You really think so?
Yeah, I really do.
I mean, you're not saying that I'm a good wife, but you're saying that I'm just a convenient wife, aren't you?
Huh?
I rather consider myself a reasonable person. I'm the type of person who sassily throws away trash I don't need. Besides, it's not your job that you're devoted to. It's your affair, isn't it?
Of course not. What are you talking about? Huh?
I already know that you had an affair with a young woman while you were working alone.
What? How come?
When Mary was on a company leisure trip, she was staying at the same hotel as you guys. Moreover, I heard that you didn't notice Mary at all when you walked past her in the hallway.
Oh, I didn't notice that she was there.
When she came home, she reported in tears that her father had found himself a young woman. Mary said that you were so infatuated with the young woman that you didn't even recognize your own daughter. Shame on you, Gordon.
No, that's a misunderstanding. Mary must have seen me together with my co-worker. She is a grown-up now, but she's still young, so I think she must have misunderstood that.
No need for excuses. After receiving that report, I hired a detective to investigate. The young woman is a daughter of the branch manager who is your boss, right? Her name is Miranda. You incurred the branch manager's wrath, so you were fired for various reasons and became unemployed. Now, you're living with Miranda, who was disowned by her parents, and you're her pimp.
I see. You already know that much. Then it can't be helped. That's right. I was having an affair.
So you finally admit it. Listen, here's the deal. I'll agree to a divorce, but I'm also going to charge you exactly what you owe me in alimony.
Wait a minute.
What?
If you've done an investigation on us, you'd know that we don't have enough money to pay for the alimony.
So what?
So, since we're at this point, I'm gonna go easy on you. Why don't you pay for my alimony?
Excuse me? Do you even know what alimony means?
I know. You're trying to get me to pay you alimony because I'm bad, right?
Then why are you saying those words? There's no way, anywhere in the world, that a victim would pay alimony to a perpetrator.
Actually, Miranda is pregnant and apparently it's twins. I'm sure it's going to cost me a lot of money.
So you're asking me for alimony?
Why not? You've always earned more money than me, and I'd really like to ask you to pay for the child's upbringing. Just like Mary and Jerry, the unborn child is my precious child. I want to raise them the same way.
Are you out of your mind?
Huh?
People say having an affair makes you crazy and looks like it's really true.
Hey, you can't talk that way to me no matter how much you want to.
All you care about is your unborn child, but we have Mary and Jerry too. Mary witnessed her father's infidelity and she's mentally damaged. Jerry is so angry that he said he's going to do everything he can to get rid of you. Not only they are fine without their father, but everyone is working together to get rid of you.
So tell them this. Even though I'm away from them, I'll always think of you all. They will always be my beautiful daughter and son.
Message from Jerry. He said that he doesn't want a father who is stupid and you must pay for the alimony and get the hell out of our life. Mary agrees with that too.
What? Are both of them there? Mary! Jerry, let's talk!
Jerry says not to ever call yourself his father again since you are an adulterer. Mary is nodding at his words. Well, that's the way it is. I'm going to follow the children's opinion and file for alimony against you.
Wait a minute. I've got a life over here.
I don't give a shit. I've hired a lawyer, so I'll have him visit you there in the near future.
Heather, wait! Let me talk to you for a minute. I've told you that I don't have any money.
Please go into debt or whatever you have to do and pay for your alimony.
I'm going to have twins, and you want me to borrow money?
Why don't you turn your stupid brain around and think of a better solution then? I'm gonna block you from now on. Goodbye, son of a bitch. After this, my ex-husband was so desperate to stop the divorce that it took him 3 months to finally file it. He needs to pay for the alimony in a lump sum, although he couldn't get much, so he had no choice but to borrow money. I was told that my earnings would be sufficient to pay for Jerry's upbringing. I do not receive any child support money for Jerry because he said that he would rather earn it himself than use the money received from an idiot adulterer. However, my ex-husband seems to be a pimp even now that their child is born. He has been asking me for child support by letter, and for some reason, he even asked me to get back together with him. He still seems to be the idiot he was. Naturally, I've been ignoring him, but I'm considering moving out and banning him from seeing me.
Hey, you. I'm working late again today. I don't know what time I'll be home. Again? You seem pretty busy these days. So you don't want dinner tonight? No, it's my job. I can't help it. You got something to complain about that? I'm not complaining, but I was just wondering about when was the last time you had dinner with me lately. I know you're working hard, but you've been coming home really late these days, and we haven't seen each other at all. So, you're complaining again, huh? Unlike me, you stay at home all the time, and yet, when I come home late, you're so lazy that you're sleeping in your bed. If you really want to have dinner with me, at least wait until I get home. You're a housewife with a lot of free time, so don't be a slacker. I'm working my ass off to make enough money to feed you. Can you just shut up and watch over me? I'm sorry, but even a housewife has to do a lot of things, you know? House cleaning, laundry, making sure all the meals are nutritious and balanced. It's a common thing. Don't brag about that. I'm not bragging, but I move around a lot during the day, and I'm not just sitting around. I'm tired, so I can't stay up until midnight. You're not working, so what's the point of being tired? You're just a lazy housewife. And I think you've gained a lot of weight since we got married. I think you're right about me gaining some weight. Why don't you get a part-time job? If you keep yourself busy, you won't be bored. Also, you won't be emotional when I get home. And on top of that, you'll lose weight if you move around. What? I told you that I want to work after we get married. You got mad at me and said you weren't happy with my income, so I quit my job. Isn't it terrible that you're telling me to work now? Huh? Are you saying it's my fault that you quit your job? Is it also my fault that you got fat? How much are you going to blame others? You know what? You've become really slumped since you got married. Well, it can't be helped. Anyway, I'm gonna be late for work, so don't call me again. I don't want to be distracted when I'm working. And I'll be eating out. That's the problem. Why didn't you say so earlier? I've already made the dinner. Why don't you just put it in the fridge? Don't complain every time. If you just told me earlier, I wouldn't have had to make dinner. Don't you know if you're going to work late or not, at least during lunch break? You know, at work, unexpected things can happen all the time. As my wife, it's your job to follow up with me. You're really a useless wife, complaining about the slightest things as far as adjusting the food. If you were prettier and skinnier, I'd still forgive you, but a fat wife is just disgusting. I'm working for my horrible wife, and I really feel sorry for myself. They say marriage is the graveyard of life, and that's exactly what it is. Am I that fat? You don't have to talk like that, do you? If you have time to complain, lose some weight. Whatever you say now, it's not convincing at all. I don't even want to walk side by side with you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're so rude. Anyway, I've got work to do, so don't bother me anymore. Understood. My sister's coming over tonight, so make sure she gets her food and stuff ready. Understood? I won't forgive you if you don't do that properly. What? It's already evening. You didn't tell me anything about that. I just told you. You were doing nothing in your spare time, weren't you? You're a housewife. You can cook a good meal in a short time. I can't do that if you told me all of a sudden. I was going to make today's meal with some leftovers from the fridge. Even at the supermarket, they sell out of the good stuff by the evening. I can't make such a fancy meal now. My sister's coming over, and you telling me you don't want to welcome her? You're going to serve leftovers to your husband's sister. I didn't tell you that I'll serve leftovers to your sister. I was trying to tell you that I'll cook something with the ingredients we have left in the fridge. You're making it with leftovers, right? So it's leftovers indeed. Anyway, you'd better start cooking now to welcome my sister. Johnny, there are some things you can do and can't do. I can't prepare the meal in such a short time. You can't do anything even though you're a housewife. What a useless wife. It's only a few hours away, right? If you'd at least told me this morning, I could have worked something out. Yeah, right. Here you are, complaining and making excuses again. Give me a break. What the hell do you think you're there for? I can't rely on you. I'll order a little better food by delivery. What kind of food does your sister like? I'll find the solution to the problem. I'm not going to rely on you. I'll order it myself. If I ask you to do it and you mess up again, I'll feel bad for my sister. You can at least pick up and serve it. Do it properly, okay? Oh, and buy the liquor too. My favorite wine and my sister's favorite brandy. I don't drink, so I'm not familiar with the brands. I'd rather you get it yourself. Huh? You know my favorite wine, don't you? You should have checked out my sister's favorite brandy too when you met her at my parents' house. Oh god, you really are a useless wife. It can't be helped. I'll text you about the brand later. If it's liquor, it won't sell out so quickly, and even you, the useless one, can shop properly, right? Alright, I'll get it ready. Hey, you and your sister were wandering around the house last night while whispering to each other. What were you two talking about? When I was checking on her, she told me to leave because it's none of your business, and I thought it was suspicious. Well, it's none of your business. I have the right to know about that. You were talking about the house, right? If it's about the house and my family, you should tell me. Why should I tell you? You can't do anything to change the fact. You're just an ordinary housewife. You're an idiot who can't do anything, so all you have to do is listen to what I tell you. Even if I'm a housewife, I'm still your family and I should be involved. I don't know if there's anything I can do, but why I'm not even allowed to know? You're so clingy. My sister came to our house yesterday because she wanted to take a look around, to figure out where to put the furniture, what to bring and what to throw away. Sorry, I'm a little confused here. You mean she didn't just come to visit? She's going to be living with us from now on. Wait a minute, so you two were secretly talking about this yesterday? You should have told me about this. You can't just decide it right away with your sister. It's between my sister and me, so it's none of your business. We'll be living together, so it's my business too. I'm not going to live with someone I'm not familiar with, even though she is my sister-in-law. You can't take care of the house, you can't even cook properly, and always complain about everything. Being such a horrible wife, do you think you have the right to say anything to me? Well, it's not just a problem between siblings, it's also a problem between husband and wife, isn't it? Besides, our house isn't big enough. I told you you're an idiot and you should just listen to what I say, didn't I? If you say our house is too small, why don't you get out of the house? It's the same whether you're here or not. Seriously? Are you telling me that you don't need me? My sister can do the housework and take care of the house. I'd rather have my sister take care of the house than you, who's incompetent, so you're no longer of any use to me. Thanks for all your hard work until today. Does that mean we're getting a divorce? It doesn't make any difference if you're here or not. It's easier for you not to be here because I don't have to waste money. If it's a one-sided divorce from you, you'll have to pay for the alimony. But considering the stress of having you around, that's a small price to pay. I got a promotion to become head of the department, and I'm not having a hard time with money. We don't even have kids. It's only a few grand a month in alimony. I'll pay you that much. You sound like you were planning on divorcing me from the beginning. Perhaps you decided to move in with your sister in order to get rid of me. That's right. You're a lousy housewife, you know that? You should be thankful that I've been taking care of you until this day. You go so far as to say that. Duly noted, then let's get a divorce. What? Do you understand your position? I knew it. You're an idiot. This is the part where you get down on your knees and apologize to me, okay? You should have told me things like, I'm sorry, I won't disobey your orders anymore, so please allow me to live here. Or, are you too fat to get down on your knees because your belly is in the way? Well, with a brain the size of yours, you won't know what's what anymore. In the meantime, pack up your stuff and get ready to move out. My sister will be moving in at the beginning of next month, so I'll keep you here until the end of this month. You'll be working as a housewife at my place until the time comes. I always thought of you as a stubborn husband, but I didn't expect you to be so unreasonable. I understand how you feel. I don't have a choice now. You seem awfully calm. Or are you pretending to be calm? Never mind. I'll write down my part of the divorce papers and leave them on the table and you can file the rest. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry too. I never thought I'd marry such a fat, useless woman. Hey, you haven't made any progress packing at all, have you? I told you to get out from here by the end of the month, didn't I? Where the hell are you? Don't tell me you're going to tell me you don't want to leave at this point. If you're still planning to stay next month, I'll charge you for every day you stay. I've written the divorce papers. It's on the table. Please check it. If you've written them, then file them right away. I don't need to check them. Do you think you can stretch your time with that? That's the shallow wisdom of an idiot. I was thinking to give you one last chance. Huh? What are you talking about? In case you're wondering, I just wanted to confirm your intention to divorce again. I said I'm getting a divorce. You really don't have enough brains, do you? What's not enough is your brains, silly Johnny. What's the matter with you? I'm getting a divorce, but you're the one who's leaving. Pack your bags and get the hell out of my house. What are you talking about? Why the hell should I move out of my house? It's not your house. I bought this house when we got married and it's in my name. If I am the owner, that means I have the authority to decide what to do with the house. I'm the head of the family. You must listen to what I tell you. What belongs to the wife belongs to the husband. If you're the owner, the house is. I don't understand at all. I don't care if you're the breadwinner or not. If you're not the owner of the house, it doesn't matter what you say. If you want to, I can contact the real estate company to prove the ownership. Regardless of the owner, You're just responsible for continuing to pay the mortgage on the house that my sister and I are going to live in. I've already paid off the loan. I thought you took out a long-term mortgage. I paid it all back with my earnings. What are you talking about? You're a housewife. There's no way you have that kind of money. Your earnings? Are you daydreaming? I worked in finance before we got married. The salary was good, so I had some savings. I used it to study investments. After a few years of trial and error, my assets grew by about 50 times. I never heard that story. Why didn't you consult me, your husband, about such a large sum of money? You also decided everything on your own without consulting me, didn't you? I used the profits to start an online shopping company, and the sales is steadily increasing. I'm sorry, but I make more money than you do. I've decided to sell the house with all these bad memories because I don't need it anymore. Huh? Wait a minute. My sister and I are going to start living here next month. Don't do anything selfish, like selling it. I don't know anything about that. I'm the registered owner, and I've already talked to the real estate company, so there's nothing you can say. You're the one who decided to move in with your sister, kicked me out, and did all those selfish things first. Hey, where the hell are you right now? Come back home immediately. I'll talk to you in person. What is there to talk about? You decided about your sister and everything without consulting me, even though I'm your wife. Also, you think I'm stupid most of the time. I'm worried about you. That's why I'm telling you to come back home. You haven't packed anything for the sale either. You'll be in trouble if you don't get rid of this stuff. I won't be in trouble. I don't need those things at all. I've already bought everything I need and it's all in the new house. What? A new house? Of course I am. I'm selling the house we were living in. You didn't file divorce papers with the authorities yet, which means you're willing to start over with me. My bad. I'm sorry I put you through all that. Let's just talk about it at the new place, so give me the address. I'm not giving you my address. I didn't file the divorce papers right away because I wanted to see your pathetic face. It's so funny how desperate you've become for someone you've made fun of so much by calling her incompetent and fat. You're a total jerk. If you're making a lot of money, you don't need alimony. Yes, I don't intend to get alimony for your unilateral divorce, but I will get alimony for your adultery with the young girl. What? What are you talking about? I didn't commit adultery. Did you think I wouldn't notice? You've been having an affair for a long time. I was aware of it. I also noticed that you were meeting secretly at a hotel while you said you were working late. Also, you were constantly going to luxury brand stores, buying expensive bags and accessories. Because your company is a good company, I thought there was no way they would make you work that late. I hired some detectives to look into the matter, and sure enough, they came up with a lot of photographic evidence in a short period of time. Even if it's true that you and your sister are going to live together, you were also planning to live together with the adulterer, weren't you? The three of you in that house, it's a little cramped, don't you think? I had already told her about the house. Why don't you just let her take care of you from next month? Well, I don't know if she'll take care of you that way. I hope she didn't just come on to you for the money you have. I'm sorry about what I did to you. Also about the affair. It's all my fault, so let me apologize. Let's start over again, Luna. Do you understand your position? You don't have to apologize. I'm not going to forgive you, even if you apologize. I don't need you either. Starting over is out of the question. Don't say that. We're a married couple. You've changed a lot since we started talking. It's because I'm sorry for what I've done. Just because you're sorry, it doesn't mean that both of us can pretend as if nothing has happened. You're just hanging on to me because you don't have a place to live and you're in dire straits. I don't need you anymore. I'm selling the house anyway, so just take what you need and get out. I've already told the real estate agent that they can get rid of everything that's left, and if you don't pack soon, they'll throw your stuff away. This is our house of memories, right? Is this what you do to your husband? It's too much, isn't it? It's nothing compared to what you've done to me. If you don't file for divorce, I'll sue you through my lawyer. Make sure you do. Wait a minute. I don't want to. I'm blocking you from now on, so stop contacting me. Farewell. Wait, Luna. Please help me. It seems that Johnny continued to live in the house without leaving and was evicted by the real estate agent. I heard that they had been arguing for a long time, which caused a lot of trouble. His sister was also evicted because she apparently had not paid her rent for a long time. She apparently planned to roll into our house. There was no way I was going to deal with a scum like her and her brother. After that, Johnny and his sister became homeless and clung to Johnny's adulterous partners. She too was only approaching Johnny for money, so there was no way she would continue her relationship with him, who had no home and had to pay for the alimony. I told the company Johnny was working at that he was having an affair, so he got dismissed. If you're asking me about where those scum sister and brother are now, I must say that I don't know and I don't care at all. I have since then been steadily growing my online shopping company and making a steady profit. I'm going to live free and easy on my own for a while.
Hey, Olivia, are you hiding something from me?
Huh?
Don't you have something to report? It's no use trying to hide things from me.
Well,
You're driving me crazy. Ryan told me about it. I heard you guys built a house.
oh, Ryan told you? I didn't know. Sorry for the delay.
It's been a month since you moved in. That's too late to tell me, isn't it?
I was going to call you, mother-in-law, and invite you over, but I've been busy with work. We haven't been able to find any free time.
That's just rude. Don't you usually ask for advice before you build a house?
That's what I said to Ryan, but he just said, and the conversation never progressed. So now we're here.
I think Ryan's response meant that it was obvious you should contact me. If not for you, I could have helped with the house. You should be more devoted to being a good wife.
Huh?
In the first place, you are too careless.
Oh?
Whenever I was invited to dinner, even though you invited me, you didn't go shopping until after I arrived. Shouldn't you usually have everything ready to cook?
Well, it's because you insisted on having steak. I had pizza and pasta planned, so I was all set.
Huh? Are you saying it's my fault? How can you say such a thing to your mother-in-law?
I didn't say it was your fault. Of course, if you suddenly want to eat something different, we have to prepare it from scratch. It's just the way things turned out.
Also, you couldn't even clean up. You invited me, and the floor of your house was so dirty. You really are a rude person, aren't you?
That was when you forced me to try on my boots. That's the dirt that fell off when I walked with them. It's not that I didn't clean up.
Well, you're the kind of person who won't admit you're wrong, blaming me for everything.
I'm not blaming you.
So anyway, when will I be invited to the new home?
Oh, I haven't been able to clean up the mess yet. There are still cardboard boxes piled up in the living room. I was going to invite you when it's all cleaned up.
You should at least do something about the boxes yourself.
All that's left are Ryan's things. I didn't think it would be right to unpack his stuff without permission.
You're his wife, right? It's only natural for you to clean up after him. He comes home late from work, right?
That's right. He's not home almost every day because of overtime, drinking, working on holidays, and so on.
Is Ryan working that hard? Well, I guess that's how you could buy that house. Ryan says it's an imported house. That must have been very expensive.
I know. I was fine with renting an apartment, but Ryan insisted.
A rental apartment? Really? That would be like saying that Ryan is a man who can't make money. Anyway, thanks to Ryan, you can live in such a luxurious house, so be thankful.
Huh.
Oh, right. Since we're talking about it, maybe I can visit your new home this Sunday?
Sunday? It's only once a month, but that's the Sunday I work. I have a meeting as well, so it's gonna be tough.
Then we'll do it on Saturday.
I don't have time to clean up because I have to work on Saturday too. Mother-in-law, can't you wait a little longer?
Hey, how long are you going to make me wait?
I'll tell Ryan to clean up his stuff too.
You should clean up everything. You're the wife. Don't make Ryan, who built the house, do more work than you do.
I'm working too.
What work? It's just a small salary, isn't it?
That's not true. I've been steadily saving the salary I earn.
I don't care about your salary anyway. I'll visit you on Saturday.
Mother-in-law, it's too difficult.
I've already decided. Olivia, I'm glad I went to your new house after all.
Thank you for coming over at a busy time.
What's with that tone? Are you being sarcastic?
I'm sorry I couldn't clean up.
It's okay. I didn't expect you would.
What?
Although it's an imported house, it's not that stylish.
Yeah, Ryan is very particular about the little details.
I love how spacious it is.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to take a room on the south side of the house. I'm looking for some small furniture I can get quickly.
What are you talking about, mother-in-law?
Oh, you didn't hear from Ryan?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I like the house so much that I've decided to move in.
Where?
Where? The house, of course.
By the house, do you mean the house I live in?
Of course.
Huh? Wait a minute. I haven't heard anything, and I haven't talked to Ryan either. I don't want you to move in without permission.
Without permission? You don't mean that, do you? Ryan, who is my son and the owner of the house, says it's fine. There's no reason for you to object.
Even so, our house has a pretty big living room area, but we don't have that many bedrooms, so there's no room available for you.
You have your room, right?
My room? That room is my work room. I really need it. I'll have web conferencing and...
You can do web conferencing anywhere, can't you? If you don't have enough room, you can work in the dining room. It's cheeky of you to reserve a room just for web conferencing.
But this house...
All my stuff will be delivered tomorrow.
What? You already sent your stuff?
Yes, I did. Because I've got Ryan's permission. There's nothing wrong with that.
This is difficult, and I haven't met with Ryan yet. It's not normal to decide to live with you without talking about it at all.
He's busy with his work. I heard he got a promotion.
What? A promotion?
Maybe he got more motivated after building that house. That's Ryan. Not like someone who's incompetent and just says, I've been so busy with work.
Are you talking about me?
I'm not saying I'm talking about anyone.
It's true that I'm busy with my work, and my income is as high as Ryan's, you know? I'm not spending my money because I'm saving it.
Yes, that's fine. Since I decided to move in with you in that house, I sold my house.
What? You sold it? Why would you do a thing like that?
Because I'm moving in with you guys. I don't need this house anymore, right?
No, but I never asked you to move in with me.
Anyway, my stuff will arrive tomorrow. Please accept the delivery and put them away, okay?
Mother-in-law, I'm away tomorrow on an errand.
Just because you don't want to clean up, you're pretending to run errands? How can you have errands when you're so lazy? You're trying to run away because you don't like to tidy up.
No, I'm really not home. So I'm afraid I can't pick up the packages.
How incompetent are you? I'm glad I decided to move in with you so I can teach you how to be a proper wife. From now on, I will show you how to do things the right way. Prepare to learn a lot.
I can do the housework without help from my mother-in-law. I'm really not going to be here tomorrow. I'm telling you that now, okay?
Olivia, where are you? I told you my package would be delivered today, didn't I? Why aren't you at home?
Have you arrived already?
Yes, I have. I'm glad Ryan sent me the duplicate key in advance. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get into the house.
I told you that I was not at home, didn't I?
A daughter-in-law who doesn't listen to her mother-in-law at all. I don't know what to do. He built a beautiful house. I feel sorry for Ryan. The house is a mess.
All the mess is Ryan's stuff. I've cleaned up everything else.
Huh? Even though it's such a mess? How can you say that?
Let me tell you something. He didn't even go inside the new house. Ryan's the one who didn't clean up the mess, no matter how many times I told him to, right?
Because he's busy with his work. It can't be helped. How much do you hate your husband? If you were like that, you don't have to come back to this house anymore. I'll take care of Ryan. I'm glad I decided to move in together. I can't leave Ryan in your hands any longer.
By all means, please do so. I've already sold that house.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Did you know that Ryan is having an affair?
Adultery? There's no way that boy would do such a thing.
I thought so too. But since the house started to be built, Ryan was acting strangely. He was weirdly distant and wouldn't make eye contact with me. I had a bad feeling about it, but when we moved out, my bad feeling came true. When I was sorting through Ryan's belongings, I found some women's underwear.
What? They weren't your underwear?
No, I don't have such bad taste. Then I realized. I checked Ryan's phone while he was sleeping, and there was a picture of him with a woman. The design of the house had been decided, and it was about to be built. I thought that once the house was finished, Ryan's feelings would change. But then he stopped coming home.
Wasn't that because of you? Because you couldn't do the housework?
Would he have an affair just because of that? I couldn't believe anything Ryan told me, so I hired an investigation agency to check him out. I found a lot of evidence. When I asked Ryan for a divorce, he accepted it without question. I was out of the office today to sell the house.
Huh? Then what am I here for?
I don't know. Maybe... I think he was going to invite you to live in this house and then have you harass me a lot. And then have you kick me out of the house.
That's a good idea. If you leave, it would mean that my son and I could have some quality time together.
Is that so?
So why are you selling this house? It's in Ryan's name. You shouldn't have the right to do that, right?
You seem to be mistaken. That house was purchased in my name. I bought it with the salary I've been working so hard to save up.
Really?
When the cost of the house was decided and we talked about the payment, Ryan's savings were zero. Well, I was so stunned my mouth was hanging open. It seems that Ryan had spent most of the money he had saved on women.
Is that true?
And Ryan didn't really get a raise, did he?
Huh? But Ryan said so.
Ryan must have wanted to impress you. He seems to love you a lot.
Oh, but there's no way you could have bought a house on your small salary.
Actually, I started my own company 2 years ago.
I didn't know that.
It's a small company that produces apps. The app we developed became a hot topic on social networking sites, and our sales increased unexpectedly. I saved up my salary and was able to buy a house.
Is that true?
Ryan found out and thought he didn't have to work anymore. He also started taking a lot of time off from work, and his reputation at the company seems to have gotten really bad. From then on, he started coming home late, pretending he was working. I didn't doubt that he was working, but he had never worked overtime before, so it was a bit strange. So I went to visit him at the office. I was told that Ryan leaves work on time every day. I was also told that there seemed to be some extra days off here and there.
Oh.
After that, I discovered women's underwear while we were moving. It's obvious, isn't it? I don't regret my decision to divorce.
But what will happen to this house?
I'm planning to move out immediately. I'm sorry to trouble you, but you will have to move out immediately as well, along with your belongings.
Wait a minute. I sold my house and moved in. Where am I supposed to go?
I don't know. Why don't you talk to Ryan?
That's the thing. For some reason, I can't reach Ryan.
Oh dear. Let me ask you something, mother-in-law. What did you do with the money from the sale of the house?
He asked me to help him with the mortgage. I deposited the money into the account Ryan told me.
Mother-in-law, you've been completely deceived. I'm the one who paid off that house, so there's no mortgage.
That boy lied to me?
That's what I'm saying. He was quite passionate about the woman he was having an affair with. Ryan's savings balance was almost zero, remember? I don't know what happened after that.
What?
Besides, I just got a call from his company. He's been absent without notice, and since they haven't been able to contact him, they're going to have to fire him. Maybe he left the country with his girlfriend?
Oh no.
However, I have all the evidence I need. I will file a claim for compensation. If I can't contact him, I will ask you to pay it. I'd appreciate it if you could comply with that.
What? Wait. There's no way I can pay that kind of money. I live on a pension. And I've lost my place to live, and I don't even know if I can make ends meet.
But I can't get rid of my bad feeling if I don't do something about it. If I can't get in touch with Ryan, I'm going to charge you for raising such a scumbag man, and I'm going to sue you. In fact, you were trying to take over the house I bought, so I have a reason to sue.
Oh no, I didn't know anything about it. I just did what my son told me to do. I didn't do anything wrong.
But isn't it also your fault for spoiling your son? It's disgusting that he let his wife buy a house, had an affair, and then disappeared, isn't it? I will make sure you take responsibility.
I understand. Then I'll take responsibility for finding Ryan, so wait until then.
How can it be that easy? Until you find your son, you will pay me alimony.
Wait, I have nowhere to live. I don't even have a job. There's no way I can pay you no matter what you say.
All you have to do is work. I'm sure there are plenty of jobs out there if you look for them. Please work hard and pay my alimony, even if it's a little bit at a time. And please take time out of your busy schedule to find your son.
Oh no. Are you going to make me, an old lady, do such a hard thing?
That can't be helped, can it? Your scumbag son has done this. I'll never forgive him for making me buy a house, having an affair, and then disappearing. If you want, I can even file a complaint with the police for fraud.
Don't do that. Please don't do that. He's a scumbag, but he's still my son. I'll do as you ask.
Is that so? Okay then.
Oh, wait. Where are you now?
I just bought a new condo. I'm already using it as my office and home.
Well, can I just stay there for a while? I have my stuff and nowhere to go.
Absolutely not.
Why not? I need help.
I'm sorry to hear that, but you and I are strangers now. I don't have the luxury of helping you, a stranger. You'll have to take care of it yourself.
Don't say that. We were both betrayed by Ryan, weren't we? Let's help each other.
Huh? Get smart with me. I was so hurt by your son. When I found out about the affair, I was so shocked. We even built a house.
So, let's help each other.
I finally got over him. I don't want anything to do with someone who reminds me of Ryan.
Don't say that. What do you want me to do?
What? I'm fine as long as you pay me alimony. So please just do that. I'm sure you'll be contacted by my lawyer soon.
That's terrible. Olivia, are you abandoning me? Please, help me.
Later, it was revealed that Ryan was hiding in another town. It seems that my mother-in-law filed a missing persons report and had him tracked down. Ryan had already been abandoned by his lover. I guess when he ran out of money, she ran out on him. In order to pay for their own living expenses and pay alimony to me, they are trying to make ends meet by both working part-time jobs. but they are still poor, and I hear that they are constantly fighting with each other. Well, I have nothing to do with them as long as I get alimony. Work is going well on my end. Another new app has hit the market, and I have enough income to live on my own. I plan to live happily for a long while, saving money.
Hey, Veronica, will you listen?
What?
My sister got dumped by her boyfriend.
Oh, is that so? I thought it was something serious.
What do you mean by that? That's quite a thing to say. My precious sister got dumped.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought something had happened to you.
It's as if something happened to me. She just told me on WhatsApp. It's hard to hear that my sister is being so depressed.
Oh.
There's no one in the world like that wonderful woman. I can't believe that someone would dump my sister. That guy, I can't forgive him.
Well. I understand how you feel, but this is between your sister and her ex-boyfriend. It's not our place to interfere.
But where's the reason to dump my sister? That's too rude.
I don't know about that. I don't know what happened between them. It's not my place to say. You know, a man and a woman, only they can tell each other what's going on.
You're a cold woman, aren't you?
What?
Put yourself in her shoes. Maybe she was thinking of getting married, you know? It doesn't make sense to dump her while thinking about the future.
That's something we don't know either. Besides, marriage is all about luck and timing. Maybe she didn't have a chance with that guy.
Are you on that guy's side? You haven't worried about my sister at all.
I'm not taking sides or anything. I'm just making generalizations. I'm sure that one day she'll find a man who's attracted to her. Let's hope so for now.
You're like that, aren't you?
Huh?
You see people's misfortune without a care in the world. You're a terrible woman. I wish it was you who got dumped.
Okay. She's a precious sister to you, but I don't think you have any control over her love life.
That's true, but today, after work, I'm going to drop by her place. I'll go talk to her.
All right. Mike, are you still at your sister's apartment?
Yep.
Don't you think it's rude to stay there this late?
What are you saying? I can't leave her alone being depressed. She's even crying.
Even so, it's rude to disturb her so late. Besides, she has a job too. I know she's sad, but why don't you leave her alone?
I can't do that. What do you think her ex-boyfriend said to her?
What?
He told her that she can't do anything.
What does that mean?
He said she's a terrible cook, can't clean or organize, and blames others for her inability. That's why he said he can't go out with her anymore. That's too much to say, isn't it? I can't believe he said that to my sister.
I can't really say anything about that. We all have different expectations. Maybe that's how much her ex wanted her to be.
Why are you keep taking that guy's side? That's really terrible. I think I've seen who you really are.
Huh? You can't say that much. You're meddling in your sister's private life too much. She's not a child anymore, so just leave her alone. Besides, I think this is something she has to overcome on her own, and that's true love for your sister.
After all, she is a stranger to you. That's enough. I won't talk to you about my sister.
You never asked me for advice in the first place.
Huh?
You just kept telling me the news on your own.
You're too cold to even talk to me about it.
That's enough. Anyway, if you stay too late, it'll affect her tomorrow. I think you'd better come home soon.
That's none of your business. She's my precious sister, so don't interfere.
Hey Mike, what's going on? When I came home, your sister is here?
Last time I went to her apartment, we decided to move in together.
What? What do you mean?
She said she was sad to live alone, so I asked her to move in with me.
Living together? Wait a minute. You didn't ask me about it?
Did I have to tell you?
Isn't it obvious? I live in this apartment with you, remember? And you and I are married, right? Of course you need to tell me.
Why? My precious sister is suffering. I'm supposed to help her, don't I? Why are you being so mean?
I don't understand. Why do we have to live with your sister? I can understand if it's your parents, but your sister? And without any consultation?
We're family, so we don't need to ask for advice.
Even family members don't want to be intruded into their private life.
You really are a narrow-minded woman, aren't you? Don't you have any consideration for others?
I don't think that's the point. And what are we going to do living in this small apartment?
You have your workroom, right? If you vacate that room, it'll be her room.
Huh? Then where am I supposed to work? I have to work remotely half a week.
You just need a computer to work. You don't need a whole room. Why don't you use the living room table?
That's so selfish. If your sister is lonely and alone to begin with, why don't you ask her to go back to her parents' house? Why our apartment?
You're doing it again. You're such a cold woman. That's what she wants.
Call me cold, but I won't allow her to live with us. In the first place, she didn't even attend our wedding. She was traveling abroad with her boyfriend or something.
That's because our schedule has conflicted, so what could be done? She had her own reasons.
But it was her brother's wedding. She knew 6 months in advance. She could have cleared her schedule.
That wasn't possible, so she couldn't come to the wedding, okay?
Even though it's her brother's wedding?
There are lots of people who can't attend, even if they're siblings.
I don't know about that. You can't attend your sibling's wedding because you're going on an overseas trip with a partner? I've never heard of that. And I haven't had a single congratulatory message from her since we got married. Why should I have to live with someone like that?
You're so narrow-minded. I'm disgusted.
I'm the one who's dumbfounded.
If you hate my sister so much, get out of the apartment.
Huh?
If she says she wants to live together, then we live together. What my beloved sister says is absolute.
Why do you do that? You forced your way into our place, and you want me to leave if I refuse to live with her? That's too arrogant. This is my apartment too, you know?
If you can't treat my sister kindly, I'm divorcing you.
What? That's impossible.
If you don't want me to divorce you, then allow her to live with us, and do your best to take care of her.
I can't agree to that. No matter how you think about it, it's crazy, isn't it?
You're still saying that? That's enough. Hey, Veronica, you're going to the office today, right?
Yes, I'm working on some paperwork right now.
I left early and just got back to my apartment.
Why? Are you sick?
No, my sister's not feeling well.
What?
She's been mentally weak lately, so maybe she got sick. Thinking that she's having a hard time on her own, I couldn't stand still, so I left early.
Huh? She's not a child. She can take a rest at home by herself.
You're as cold as ever. I told you to be devoted to my sister when she moved in with us. I told you I'd divorce you if you couldn't do that. She's my precious, precious sister.
You're starting to sound weird. You two siblings should grow up and be more independent.
Huh? We are independent. That's why I married you. So why can't you take care of my family?
There's no way I can do that.
Why?
The other day, I saw she tried to put some kind of white powder in my coffee. I was horrified when I saw that.
She is a kind person. She wouldn't do that, would she? It's too rude to lie about my sister like that.
It's rare for her to offer to make coffee. I got curious and went to check out the kitchen. She was putting that white powder with a smirk on her face. I thought she was doing something suspicious.
You're just being paranoid. It's all in your head since that's how you look at her. I think she was just making coffee.
That was as bad as it gets. I didn't drink that coffee because I noticed it. What the heck was that white powder? Was she trying to put me to sleep? I'll stop asking her to make me coffee from now on.
That's a lie. There's absolutely no way my sister would do such a thing. You're just making this up because you don't want to live with her.
There's no point in making up a story like this, you know? Besides, she happened to be home when I was working remotely. She asked me to make lunch, so I made a sandwich. Then she said, "I don't like eating a bad sandwich like this." And she threw it straight into the trash.
How could she do such a thing? If that's true, it's because your sandwich was bad.
How is that possible after you went to the trouble of having someone cook for you? Perhaps the sister I know and the sister you know are different. She's like a wife-beating little mother-in-law.
Even you're my wife. There are things you are allowed to say and things you are not allowed to say. I won't forgive you if you speak about my sister like that.
I'm not bad-mouthing her. I'm just telling the truth. Why don't you believe what I'm saying?
Because you're cold. Every single thing you say is mean. Maybe you don't like my sister, but how can I believe anything you say like that?
Well, so you're saying it's not okay for her to have a hard time, but it's okay for me to have a hard time?
It shouldn't be hard for you because you're the one bullying her.
I think I now understand how exactly you feel.
Veronica, when are you coming home? You're a housewife, aren't you? You even have a housework, so you should be thinking about taking care of the apartment. I can put up with it. And my sister says she's hungry. Come home early and make dinner.
I won't make it because what I make tastes bad and gets tossed in the trash.
Huh? What are you talking about?
There are 2 adults there, so if she's hungry, why don't you guys just make your own food?
She's starving, so come home and make dinner. I'm hungry too. This is my sister's order too.
I hate it even more if it's her order. I don't know what she'll do next. If you're hungry, why don't you ask her to cook for you? I'm sure she'll make you something you like.
You're such a jerk. If you don't listen to my sister, I'll divorce you.
Huh?
I told you before. I'm letting you live in this apartment. Be grateful and do as you're told.
I'm fine with the divorce.
What?
Let's get divorced because I'm done taking care of you guys.
What are you talking about? Have you lost your mind?
No, I'm not. We're already divorced.
What? You're crazy. How can I get divorced without divorce papers and without even filling them out?
What are you talking about? You gave me the divorce papers that you filled out, remember?
When?
The day after your sister moved in. You brought me the completed divorce papers when you didn't approve of me living with her.
Oh.
You told me to submit this to the city hall right away when you tell me to.
That's right. I got mad and went to get the divorce papers the next day. Well, that was just a bluff.
Huh?
I was so frustrated that you wouldn't accept her moving in with us. The next day, I got emotional and went to get it.
What is it with you that you even have forgotten about it?
I did it on the spur of the moment, so I had no memory of it.
That's just how I am to you after all. I understood it well from the text messages earlier today. That's why I filed the divorce papers at the city hall right after that. It was accepted easily because your section was already filled out.
You're kidding, right?
I've run out of patience. I realize that you don't trust me at all. I didn't even have to think about it, and no hesitation to divorce.
I wasn't thinking about divorce. The only reason I gave you the divorce papers was to have you do what I tell you to do.
That's so funny, isn't it? What do you mean by have me do what you tell me to do? I'm not your servant, and I'm not your slave.
I didn't mean to.
Aren't married couples supposed to discuss even the smallest things? You decided to have your sister move in with us without consulting me about it. That's not a right thing to do, is it?
No, but...
She was walking around the apartment like she owns the place. Even she was the one who moved in. What kind of people are you? Do you know what she did to me?
No, I don't know.
Broke the heels of my shoes.
Huh?
I was going to go to work, and I was very confused because I couldn't wear my shoes' heels.
So what happened?
I had no choice, so I put on a suit and sneakers and went to work. And she threw away my underwears.
What?
I kept losing no matter how many times I buy new underwears. I can't tell you how many pairs of underwear I've had to buy in the past week.
Why would she do that?
That's what I want to know. I can only assume she's harassing me, though. Then she steals my cherished, expensive bag.
Oh, no. Are you sure you didn't just lose it somewhere?
How can I lose a bag I haven't used in the last year or so? It's been a while since I've looked for it to take it with me to work, but it's gone. So I looked in the closet that your sister uses, and there it was.
Maybe she had the same thing?
That can't be true. When I bought that bag, I had my initials embroidered on the inside pocket of the bag. That's the kind of service I got. They were definitely my initials. I'm surprised that she steals from someone living together.
My sister? No way.
There's so much more, you know? Do you want me to tell you all?
No, that's enough. I couldn't believe she would do such a thing.
I couldn't believe it either. I can only think that she moved in with us to bully me.
I don't think that's possible.
Are you still defending your sister? If so, that's fine. I'm already a stranger to you guys. Now your sister and you are finally free in the apartment. You can have any room you want. I don't care what you eat.
Wait a minute. You and I need to talk things out, right? Let's talk it over, just the two of us.
You didn't believe me at all when I had to tell you something. I told you over and over again, but you wouldn't listen to me. It's too late.
Veronica, don't say that.
I'll come pick up my stuff soon. I'll only take what I really need, so it won't be much. You and your sister can do whatever you want with what I'm leaving behind. Well then, bye.
Veronica, will you start over with me? I only have you, please.
Who do you think you are? I'm no longer related to you, so can you please not contact me?
Don't be so cold and listen to me. My sister doesn't do any of the housework.
I know. I had been doing it for a while, remember?
I make breakfast before I go to work, do the laundry. When I get home from work, I make dinner, take out the laundry, and clean the house. If I skip even a single task, my sister scolds me. I can't do this anymore.
How can you say that? I did all of that. If I skipped even one thing, I'd get a barrage of harassment. No matter what I said to you. You didn't believe me, and you said I was cold and mean, remember?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I don't care if you're sorry now. I wouldn't start over with a man who doesn't believe me. I know how your sister's ex feels.
I'm going to collapse from overwork if I don't do something about it. Veronica, you have to help me.
You didn't help me, so why should I help you? You can continue to live in harmony with your beloved sister.
Oh no, I can't. I want to escape from this hellish life.
You made all these decisions on your own. You made your own choice, so there's nothing I can do about it. Enjoy your life with your sister at best, you sissy man.
Veronica, don't say that. Please live with me again.
No! After that, it seems that Mike did his best to balance work and housework on his own, taking advantage of Mike's presence. His sister even quit her job. She lived on Mike's income while having fun on her own. Go earn more money. I can't go out with such little money. Mike finally gave up in the face of such abuse. He ran away from that apartment. I heard that he resigned from the company he had been working for and went into complete hiding. As a result, his sister could not pay the rent and was evicted. I don't know what they have been doing since then. The end result of a crazy sister and a pathetic man is tragic. I am so glad I got divorced before I got involved. I moved in a new apartment near my workplace and I am enjoying my single life by myself.
Judy, what are you doing? Huh? I'm off work today, so I'm enjoying lunch. What? We're all waiting for you. What are you talking about? Is there something going on today? Huh? What are you talking about? We're having lunch with the family today. I told you about it. What? Everyone is starting to get worried. Wait a minute. You informed me about it, but you said it's next week. There's no way that's true. Then why is everyone gathered here? Oh, I didn't know. Damn it. I forgot you're just a high school graduate. It was dumb of me to expect you to understand like your brother, who has a college degree. Please don't be disrespectful. I didn't mishear. You definitely said it's next week. So what then? Are you accusing me of lying? I'm not saying that, but maybe you just misspoke? Why would I mess up something that's so important? I'm getting married to your brother, so everyone in the family is here. That's just wild. Clearly, it was a mistake to rely on someone like you with a low level of education for verbal communication. Must be some memory issues, huh? Not being able to remember even important dates? How disgraceful! Linda, why are you being so mean to me? I never lied to you, and I'm sure that you told me it was next week. You may be lacking in education, but your stubbornness sure can't be beat. Matt said the same thing. What? That when it comes to stubbornness, nobody can outdo you. Looks like even your family makes fun of your lack of education, huh? That's a lie. How come? He told me himself. My brother admires my independence from others' opinions. I doubt he'd ever call me uneducated. And it's not that I didn't study. I chose not to go to college. I may not have a college degree, but I'm committed to learning and self-improvement. Matt is kind. He's just being nice to you because you're his only sister. You don't even remember our plans for today. You're so rude. Why are you treating me like this? It feels like you've constantly targeted me. From giving me childish snacks, kid socks, even books for kids. I never brought it up to my brother, but now I'm wondering about your intentions. Oh, come on. Be appreciative. Those were my gifts to you, carefully chosen. They suit you perfectly, regardless of education level. Unbelievable. Did you intentionally give me the wrong date today? Well, no worries. I'll tell everyone what happened. Huh? I'll tell them that you were feeling sick since last night. Sick? But I'm all fine. I can't believe you got the day wrong. That was a surprise. That's not true. You intentionally gave me the wrong dates. Oh, well, it seems like uneducated folks tend to point fingers when things don't go their way. I get where you're coming from, though. What are you trying to say? Too bad you're missing out. Everyone's having a blast without you. Don't worry, I'll cover for you. Enjoy yourself elsewhere. Do you not accept me to be your sister-in-law? No one said that. My family has a thing for academic achievements. Most of our relatives are Ivy League grads. Having someone who didn't even pursue higher education like the rest of us is a bit embarrassing, don't you think? I may have only graduated high school, but I've been working hard and undergoing rigorous training. I have nothing to be ashamed of, compared to you or your relatives. Is that so? It's really important to have self-confidence, isn't it? Judy, the wedding invitations are ready. I'll send it to your apartment. Thank you. Please double-check the dates. I made the letter big and bold, so you can't misread them. I want to avoid any arguments about who said what. Yeah. So this time, I made sure to put it in writing. Now, even someone with a poor memory like you can rest assured, right? Thank you for going out of your way for me. I'll be sure to be mindful and avoid any rudeness at the wedding. I made some adjustments to the invitation for you, who tends to misread things. Please make sure to arrive on time on the day of the wedding. I'm sure Matt is also looking forward to it. You're welcome, by the way. Really? Yeah. He was disappointed you didn't come for the family gathering. Poor thing. He loves you since you're his only sister. I'm glad you see it that way. He's been protective of me since we were little. He'd always hold my hand wherever we went. Ew! Please don't hold hands with him. It's weird. Obviously, we stopped doing that. but ever since middle school, he's been the only person I've relied on. That hasn't changed. That's why I want to be there for him on his special day. Matt, of course. And all the relatives are looking forward to see you. So please don't be late. And also, yes? Please dress nice. Don't come dressed like an idiot. Excuse me? Let me remind you something. Our family has a strong tradition of academic excellence, with many relatives who have achieved success in high-ranking positions. It's important that we dress appropriately to uphold our family's reputation and avoid any potential embarrassment among our relatives. Of course, I won't do anything to embarrass you. By all means, please do so. I'm looking forward to it. Judy, I hope you're doing good. Just a friendly reminder not to be late for the wedding. I understand that you may have a different educational background and social status, but I want to ensure you're dressed appropriately for the occasion. Wait a minute. Is the wedding today? Yes, it is. Are you okay? But the invitation clearly stated next week's date, in bold letters too. What? Did you misread it again? Oh my God. I didn't misread it. It's dated for next week. You're still half asleep, huh? I went out of my way to make sure you wouldn't misread the date by using bold letters. I wanted to prevent misunderstandings. And yet, you still managed to mix up the date. It seems like you can't even read simple words, huh? You uneducated loser. So, just so we're clear, I can read just fine, you know? And yes, the date for next week is clearly written, no doubt about it. Due to your lack of education or perhaps a misunderstanding, it seems all the effort I put in for you has gone to waste. You're even more incompetent than I thought. What the heck? Even with the family gathering included, I don't think the mistake was on my end. Considering my job, I'm pretty used to reading, you know. Your job? Like what? Reviewing children's books? Huh? You did everything on purpose, didn't you? You are so rude. You're such an idiot. You have no business attending my wedding. That's what you wanted, huh? What do you mean? You purposely gave me the wrong date because you didn't want me at your wedding. You're being quite harsh on your sister-in-law, aren't you? Is there any evidence to support that? Blaming me for your reading difficulties isn't fair. Stop trying to make things up just because you're embarrassed. Making things up? Yeah. Misreading the date on the invitation would definitely be embarrassing, huh? You didn't really want me to attend the wedding, did you? And to be honest, you didn't want me to be there with the family at the recent gathering, right? That's not true. You're Matt's precious sister. If you're really going to insist that I did it intentionally, show some evidence to back up your claim. Evidence? Can you please stop making unfounded assumptions, huh? It's disappointing, but it doesn't seem like you'll make it to today's wedding on time. But having someone with your level of education there would only be embarrassing. It's probably better for both relatives and friends to enjoy themselves without any awkwardness, don't you think? This way, I can avoid any embarrassment too. Linda, so this was your plan from the start. I told you I didn't do anything. I did make the dates on the invitation clear for you. And look, the guests are already starting to arrive. So it seems like your mistake, doesn't it? I see, if you say so. What? The date on the invitation is wrong. What are you talking about? Of course it's not. If you're saying you didn't make a mistake, then fine. If you're suggesting that I misread the date on the invitation, then that's okay too. But none of my brother's guests are coming. Literally, no one from my brother's side is going to be there. Come on, that can't be true. Making up lies just because you're upset? It's pretty childish, isn't it? If that's what you think, then go ahead and keep thinking that way. Judy, what on earth is going on? None of the guests from your brother's side have arrived.
Oh, I know.
And where is your brother? Why is this happening? You must have done something to him. Tell me, what is going on?
I mean, everyone thinks the wedding is next week. The date on the invitation you sent us is for next week. So naturally, nobody would think it's today.
That can't be true. Your invitation is the only one that has the wrong date.
I knew it.
Whatever.
I can't believe you would do such thing.
Huh? Why were there fake invitations sent to people other than you?
So, are you saying that you messed up? Despite acting all high and mighty, it turns out she's got plenty of flaws too.
What do you mean?
You thought of sending me a fake invitation, but you ended up sending it to everyone too. You sent fake dated ones to everyone and accidentally sent me the one with the right date.
What? How is that possible? I would never make such a mistake. I made sure.
You're the one who sent the invitations out, correct? You wanted to harass me, so you probably didn't want anybody to know about that. That's why you did everything by yourself, right?
Oh no, that's not true.
But everyone actually received invitations, so it seems like that's not the case, right? You put together such a wonderful wedding, but it's quite disappointing to have 0 guests from the groom's side. I feel sorry for you.
Wait a minute. If your invitation was the only one with today's date, then why aren't you here? Something doesn't add up.
Well, honestly, I can't really trust you anymore. I decided not to fall for the same trick again, so I checked with my cousin, and she confirmed it's next week, so naturally I assumed the same. I figured you purposely gave me the wrong date. I mean, it seemed to make sense, given everything that's happened so far, right?
What?
I don't think I'll be able to make it today. I'll just relax at home.
You're my sister-in-law and you're not coming to my wedding?
Nope. I'm sorry to assume you were lying about the date. My bad. But it's whatever.
No, it's your brother's wedding. You should be here.
Oh, you didn't know?
What?
Matt is with me right now.
Huh?
Our whole family is here with me.
Linda, I've heard all about what you did to my sister. I found it suspicious when she didn't show up for the family gathering. And now I learned that you manipulated her into missing it. Unbelievable. No, I didn't. Listen to me.
Listen to what?
Isn't everyone in our family a graduate of prestigious universities? Even you graduated from a top university, right? And yet, Judy is the only one with just a high school diploma, considered undereducated. It's embarrassing to introduce her as part of the family.
I know she's just a high school graduate, but because she wanted to be a writer.
A writer?
She became an apprentice to a renowned novelist and was eager to undergo training with them. She opted not to attend college for that reason. Rather than pursuing college, Judy believed it would be more beneficial to undergo intensive training in the fundamentals of writing under her mentor. Her mentor was really strict. She wasn't even allowed to take time off. What?
One of her novels went viral on social media one day. And now, everyone is reading her book, making her widely recognized. She's earning way more than you do now.
You're kidding, right? I didn't know Judy was a famous author. Nobody mentioned that to me.
Judy isn't the type to boast about her education or status. She's humble and always considers others. She's unlike you, who judges people based on their education or profession.
No way.
Forget about our marriage. I thought you were a woman who cherished my parents and my sister, which is why I decided to marry you. Turns out, I was completely wrong about you.
Wait a minute. I want to marry Matt. What about our wedding? My guests are already here.
Oh, that's perfect.
Huh?
I want you to confess everything you've done to my sister all this time and inform your guests that the wedding is canceled. I don't want to do anything with someone like you.
Matt, wait! I want to marry you. Linda, it is what it is. If you don't feel like informing your guests about the wedding cancellation, maybe you can give them a call individually. Honestly, it's your problem, so do whatever you want. No way! Judy? Hi, Linda. What now? I can't tell the guests. I can't tell them that it's my fault that it was canceled. I see. So, could you please come here right now? Huh? Why me? I need you to support me and convey the message to everyone. Let them know that you're willing to forgive me and that you'll talk to Matt about it. Explain that the wedding will be postponed, but assure them that we'll plan another one and we hope they'll still be able to attend. Can you deliver a speech like that? Wait a minute. Are you being serious? Yes. You often come up with such foolish ideas, don't you? First of all, my brother is furious. He's made it clear he never wants to see you again. Even if I were to try to convince him, it wouldn't make a difference. He's incredibly stubborn, so once he sets his mind to something, that's it. That's why I'm asking you. If you could convince him, he might gradually come around, right? You could start by convincing Matt first. Or you could inform the guests first. It's up to you. Can you just start doing something now? You're an idiot, aren't you? Huh? You're completely crazy, aren't you? Why? I've been mocked and belittled by you countless times, you know? Excluded from family gatherings just because I lack higher education, and not even invited to the wedding. After everything you put me through, why should I be the one to start taking action for your sake? Enough is enough. Because you're the only one I can ask to do this. Who else could I ask? No one else would be foolish enough to do something like that for you. Give up on my brother as well. No! I love Matt! I really want to be with him. Well, my brother doesn't even want to see you, and my parents and I are both furious. I don't care how much trouble you're in. Don't say that! I'm sorry! I'm sorry, please forgive me! Please? I refuse with all my might. I don't want anything to do with you from now on. Of course, please don't get involved with my brother any further. Don't be so cold! After all, we were on friendly terms, weren't we? Let's become true sisters-in-law this time. How selfish you are. Please, Judy! I can't continue talking to you with this nonsense. Goodbye. Oh no, Judy! Please, help me! After that, my brother gave the wedding guests shopping vouchers from his affiliated company. While it did involve some costs, it appears to be a small price to pay, considering it as a parting gift for Linda. As for Linda, her parents gave her a hard time. Of course, she asked them to call off the marriage. I believe my brother was saved by the fact that her parents are reasonable people. And as for the expenses incurred for the canceled wedding, Linda was the one who needs to pay it off. She is now working day and night to pay it back in installments. Linda, who always flaunted her high education and found fault with everything without putting in much effort, seems to be worn out both mentally and physically. She deserves it. My brother went through a rough patch, but now he's back in the game, searching for his real soulmate. Seeing him smile again brings me joy.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave us a comment down below. It means a lot to us. See you next time!